What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday, of course, it had been reported that Diddy had been arrested by feds in connection to the ongoing case against him. It was back in, of course, and I think it was late March when the Department of Homeland Security raided his properties in, I believe it was Miami and LA in connection to alleged crimes that he had committed. Let's put it like that. So ever since he was arrested yesterday, there's been speculation as to what the actual charge will be from the federal government. And now it's been reported that Diddy has been indicted on trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping charges. So according to reports, Sean Diddy Combs is now a criminal defendant in a trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping case after a grand jury indicted him. According to official documents, Diddy has been charged with 3 counts: racketeering conspiracy, trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in trickery. Let's put it like that. According to indictment, from 2008 to the present, members of the Combs enterprise allegedly engaged in trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of tricking, coercion and enticement to engage in tricking, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. According to the indictment, the purpose of the Combs enterprise was to operate a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries. The purpose also includes preserving Diddy's power and fulfilling his personal desires, especially in relation to his gratification physically, through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial naughty parts workers. The indictment mentions the now infamous freak-off parties, calling them elaborate and produced performances that Combs arranged, directed, self-gratified during, and often electronically recorded. The indictment alleges Combs lured women into his orbit under the pretense of a romantic relationship and then used force, threat of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended, intimate acts with male naughty part workers. After the freak-offs, Combs and the victims allegedly received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. The indictment does not include details of the kidnapping allegations other than they occurred in California, as did the arson and bribery. As for the drug charges, they allegedly include the intent to distribute narcotics, including cocaine, oxycodone, Xanax, GHB, the date grape drug, MDMA, and ketamine. Now, ketamine is the drug that you may recall that killed beloved actor Matthew Perry. It causes, if I read correctly, ketamine causes a euphoric effect in those who use it, but it also, if I'm mistaken, it speeds up the cardiovascular system, but slows down the respiration system. That's sort of the effects that you see in a speedball. Now, speedball is what killed comedians John Belushi in 1982 and Chris Farley in 1997. The indictment references what was seized. Give me 1 second. During the raids at Diddy's homes in Beverly Hills and Miami, various freak-off supplies, including narcotics, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. They also seized firearms, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers and a drum magazine. The indictment also includes allegations of violence against women. He's alleged to have assaulted women by striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. It references a March 2016 incident at an LA hotel captured on video, which is clearly referencing the Cassie incident. Also, prosecutors say in late 2023, following public allegations of the crimes, Combs and his associates would pressure victims and witnesses, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent. If convicted on all counts, Diddy faces decades in prison. Diddy will appear before a judge Tuesday morning where the charges will be read. So I believe that's this morning. This is how this is going to go on my platform. I made the decision to no longer speak directly about this case. Okay. I'm not going to speak about this on YouTube. I'm not. Just not. I'm going to report it. At most, I'm going to be very vague in what I got to say about this. If you want to hear my views on this, sign up to my Patreon. Sign up to my Patreon on the $5 tier. For those of you who are on the $5 tier, I will talk about this along with the situation involving, all of the LeBron stuff. But I'm not talking about this in detail on YouTube. Okay. All I'm going to say is, for the people who are not listening to me when I said that this is bigger than Diddy, that this is about making us the face of all these heinous acts. Look, I've said before, I can't stand Diddy. And what he did to that girl was deplorable. And if you're charging him on what he did to that girl, so be it. I'm not defending him behind what he did to her. This ain't about him. This is something bigger than that. This is something, I'm a person that likes to look to the future. And what I see is bigger than Diddy. But people don't want to, I had to block somebody that's been subscribed to me for years. And when I was criticizing LeBron, everything is all good. But, it's funny. When I was making videos about all of these young girls, mostly black, and black women who are vanishing, especially in Ohio, I did 2 videos about that. I didn't see hardly anybody watch that video. I even put in the title, please watch this video. Didn't want to watch that video though, But yeah, I'm not talking about this on YouTube. Not doing it. So for those of you who really rock with me, please subscribe to the Patreon. It's well over 1,000 videos up on Patreon about all types of different things. But this type of stuff, I'm talking about only on the Patreon. So there's a link in the all my links link in the description box. You should be able to see a link in the description in the comments, but sometimes it's not visible on YouTube to my Patreon. And I'm gonna put a link in the after every video that I share on the community section. I'll put a link to my Patreon. So this is where I'm going to talk about this. And also, I advise anybody that's talking about this on the comment section, give your opinion, but be careful of how you word certain things. So anyway, that's all I got to say about this, man. I'm not really talking about this too much, man. I was wrong when I said they weren't going to arrest him, but they definitely did have something there. And people love to point out when I'm wrong about things. 90% of the time I'm right, whatever. But I was wrong about this. I was wrong about Caitlin Clark. Okay, she can ball. I was wrong about this. They arrested him. So there's me admitting I was wrong. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this, man. Thank you guys.